Hey everybody, welcome back to Guns and Gadgets, your premier source for Second Amendment news. And the Second Amendment could possibly get another defender in the United States Supreme Court. Shouldn't have to have defenders one way or another in that court, which is supposed to be just constitutional. However, welcome to 2020. Before we jump into this, two quick things. First off, check out my friends over at the Warrior Poet Society Network. If you don't know anything about them, check out their YouTube channel. It's blowing up like crazy over the last couple of years. John and Evan do a great job over there. They're a new network. If you're not familiar with it, they've created their own platform off of all of this social media and YouTube stuff. And there's a lot of cool things on there. A lot of good shows like War Poet. And John Lovell's training in pistol and rifle and all that stuff's on there as well. And who knows, maybe you might see me every now and then on there. Check them out. Link is down below. And also, if I've got a lot of people asking where to get these sweatshirts and t-shirts for my new design there, I'll have a link down below as well for that. Let's get into the Supreme Court nomination here that's coming up this Saturday. It was announced today by President Trump that on Saturday he will announce his pick for the nomination. Now, immediately, I put it up on social media real quick, and a lot of people were like, why wait until Saturday? We need to have it today, and we're wasting time. Most of them are high-level judges, either in the district level or the appellate level, and they have work to do. You just can't just get up and say, boom, I'm done. Your case is going to have to wait until I'm done talking to the president. So I think it's going to happen on a Saturday because that's their next day off, wherever the nominee is going to be. And it looks as though the nominee is going to be Amy Coney Barrett. Now, Amy Coney Barrett was there was in strong consideration for the choice when Brett Kavanaugh was put up. It was basically, Trump was like 1A and 1B. And we all know that Justice Kavanaugh was nominated and confirmed and now sits on the court. And also at the time, President Trump a couple times said he was holding on to Barrett for the potential Ginsburg position. Remember, Ruth Bader Ginsburg's been ill for a long time, and to her credit, she has been like fighting off cancer for a long time. I think 5 separate times she came down with cancer in different parts of her body. So there were a lot of people that didn't know if she was going to continue on or if she was going to retire, and that's why we're here. So I get a lot of questions about, hey, how is this judge, this Amy Coney Barrett judge, how is she on the Second Amendment? And that's what we're going to dive into a little bit here today. So first off, a little bit about Ms. Barrett. She grew up in Metairie, Louisiana. If you're not from Louisiana, didn't live there, you don't even know how to say Metairie. It took me a long time to learn how to say it when I lived there. She's 48 years old, and she was appointed 3 years ago by President Trump to sit on the 7th Circuit Court of Appeals, and that court is based out of Chicago, Illinois. Now, if you're a law geek like me, you'll remember that in 2017, during the confirmation hearings for Judge Barrett, there was a very famous quote, kind of like a foot and mouth moment by Senator Dianne Feinstein, related to Ms. Barrett's, she's very devout in her religion. She believes in what she believes in, and has strong beliefs in that. Now, Feinstein, who was grilling the devout Christian Barrett, said this, and I'm going to quote this because I want to get this right. Feinstein said, "I think in your case, Professor, when you read your speeches, the conclusion one draws is the dogma lives loudly within you. And that's of concern when you come to big issues that large numbers of people have thought for years in this country." So basically what she's saying is because you're a devout Christian, you don't know anything about the law, or that you'll let your belief infiltrate in your decisions on the law. And in her response, Barrett said, "I can keep my personal beliefs and my professionalism separate." She also added that she would follow all Supreme Court precedent without fail, and that she would never impose her own personal convictions upon the law. It was a good answer, if you remember back then. If not, look it up. It's pretty famous. So Barrett was confirmed by the Senate on October 31st, 2017, and she has been on the 7th Circuit Court of Appeals since that time. And in her career, she has been called, quote, a champion of originalism. That means how is the document written and what was it meant in the times, and that's what it should be now. The left is already worried, and they have been worried for years about the possibility of Amy Coney Barrett becoming a candidate for the Supreme Court. Now, how does she rate on the Second Amendment, right? If you're on this channel, this is a Second Amendment-based channel, that's what we want to know. Like, is this next candidate, is this person going to be strong for the Second Amendment in the Supreme Court? I'll give you one particular case that'll kind of let you know where she's coming from. This case is Cantor versus Barr, and in this case, Cantor pled guilty to mail fraud. had to do with Social Security billing for shoe inserts. Nothing like no violent crime or like it's one of those victimless crimes that people get jammed up on. But he pled guilty to mail fraud, and because Cantor was considered a felon at that point, now he's a prohibited person, right? Because of the NICS background check system. And during this case that went up to the Court of Appeals, during this case, Justice Barrett dissented, which means she didn't agree with the majority of the justices in this 3-judge panel. But she said thing, and I'm going to read from my notes here just because I don't want to screw it up. I want to be accurate. At the time, she said, at the time of the country's founding, legislatures took away the gun rights of people who were believed to be dangerous. But the laws at the heart of Cantor's case, mail fraud, are too broad. Because they ban people like Cantor from having a gun without any evidence that they pose a risk. She stressed that the Second Amendment confers an individual right intimately connected with the natural right of self-defense and not limited to civic participation. She also said that while the government has a vested interest in keeping guns away from convicted violent felons, that in this case it doesn't hold water and is a violation of the Second Amendment. Another thing that should be known by those of us looking for specific things related to the second for this judge, I've read quite a few articles or opinions from the left related to her potential nomination this weekend, and they are very worried based off of her history as a judge that, in their words, not mine, that she'll allow continued purchase of assault weapons and that people will soon be allowed to carry in every state. So perhaps they're worried about their little ivory towers falling and things like national concealed carry or even constitutional carry being a real thing. So it's a little early to jump on that train, I'm sure, but we shall see as we move forward. More is going to be coming out. So that's all for Justice Barrett. Don't forget, Saturday's going to be the day where the nomination will take place. I will do another video, perhaps coming up tomorrow, on the other options, the other people that are seen as top runners. If you're interested in hearing that or seeing that video, please hit that subscribe button down below. That really helps as the channel continues to grow. More people learn the truth, and we can all get it out there. So share it with your friends. That goes long ways in helping as well. Hit that thumbs up to destroy the algorithm, and make a comment down below. Let me know what you think. As always, thank you for your time. I understand just how valuable it is. I also wanted to tell everybody real quick about a new playlist of videos that I've been working on the last couple nights. It's going to be called Remember in November. It's going to be a couple minute videos, 1 or 2 minute videos, nothing really long, on candidates who are both running for president, who still sit in high levels in government, who are working against our Second Amendment, and they're going to start working even harder. So I wanted to remind everybody of some of the things they've said over the last year so that when you go to vote in November, you can make an educated decision. So that playlist will be down below, Remember in November. And until we see each other again, be safe, stay vigilant, carry a weapon, check out the Warrior Power Society Network, and let them know you want to see me on there. Take care, everybody.